I'm going to walk through the creation of a Salesforce CRM sync POC. On the left screen, I have PRM admin pulled up in Firefox. On the right window, I have PRM admin pulled up in Chrome. So I have two instances. On the Firefox on the left, I'm going to go down or search for RV portal template. This is where I'm going to get a lot of my information here for the setup. And then on this one, we are doing SolarWinds is the name of the potential customer. So I am going to go down to SolarWinds. I'm going to copy this name here, and I'm going to copy the URL onto a notepad. And then I am going to go to, in the W folder, the POC process folder. And I am going to choose a Salesforce CRM sync template checklist document to copy. So I'm going to copy and paste that and grab their name. And this is going to be for the person who's creating the POC and also for the designer, the front-end developer who's going to implement the design portions. So I'm going to open this up. And these top three items are already completed, so I'm going to mark those as complete, hit save. And now I am going to go to the task here. And the Salesforce credentials, everything are all right here in the task that's received. Okay, so the first steps here is to enable search. So I am going to go into the super admin of the SolarWinds project. And I'm going to grab this program ID. And that reminds me I need to start tracking time on this. So I need to go into my hours and I need to add a client. SolarWinds. Save that. Then I am going to go to projects. I'm going to grab this first one so I get the name correct here. I'm going to grab the SolarWinds partner program, and it was number 475. So I am going to create a new project. And choose SolarWinds as a client. Hit save. Now I'm going to open up a timer of SolarWinds. The task is POC, and then it's going to be SolarWinds POC for the description. And I'm going to start the timer so that they can track how much time is spent on a POC. Okay, so going back to this, I am then going to scroll down to the search and check enable search. So I am going to mark that off of the list here. Under the feature toggles, I am going to check all. For POCs, we give them all of the functionality so that they can see it all in demo, and the cells can demo everything, all of our features. And then if they purchase, we come in and remove anything that they didn't purchase. So we're going to check all of these boxes here. And click update. Okay, so that is all good to go. So I am going to select this one. So one thing that we will need to figure out is who is going to update the web config for POCs, but I will do it now in this recording. Go down to, this is on the production server. And I am going to get this web config file. Change the email address. The reason why we have to change the email address is because since this is a POC and they haven't purchased this yet, they are not going to redirect their DNS and their domains over to us or delegate anything to us. So actually none of the test emails will work. So we have to switch it to our address so that they have a valid sending domain. That's the whole purpose of doing that update. Upload that to the production server. That piece is done. Okay, we are going to now work on the approval workflows in PRM. So I am going to go click back to application when you're in the program here. And it drops me into their program instance. I'm going to go under applicants and approval workflows. These will be the first ones we work on. We cannot complete some of the approval process setup items without a notification template. So I'm first going to create that. So I'm going to then jump over to the RV portal template. And that's where I'm going to get this information here. Click into internal notification over here. I'm going to click add template. I'm going to name it this. And click next. Okay, and now we need to put in their information. So it's going to be SolarWinds Partner Program. I'm going to switch this to admin. We want, if they hit the reply button, we want it to actually go to a person. So I'm going to choose this person here who is the main point of contact. That is usually going to be like the PRM admin. Okay, the next item is I'm going to look at their default time zone, which is Greenwich Mean Time. So basically 0. So scroll all the way up to the top here, and it's UTC 0, Dublin, Edinburgh, London, Lisbon, London. And then these are going to be text-only emails, so I'm going to switch from multi-part to text-only. And the subject line will be partner application, and then I am going to copy everything in this text email box, and I am going to click save. That notification is done, so I'm going to click to process. And the first one it's very important that these are done in the correct order. The first one is new account application. So I'm going to click on that in Firefox, and then I'm going to add a workflow here under applicant, new account application. I'm going to click save, and now I need to click here to define a step. And I am going to send internal notification to approvers. Leave this the same and come down here and click and copy and paste these items. And then the approvers for the POCs will be onboarding development and quality assurance. The email template, this is what we created before. We would not be able to complete this setup if we did not already have that. That's why it's important to create it first. I'm going to select that. And then on approval, we are going to issue a final approval. So this is a very basic general approval process for a new partner in the program. They can, of course, modify this later, but this is the basics. Click save. The workflow itself will not be enabled by default. So to save yourself a step, you can click straight from up here at a approval workflow link. And I'm going to set the status from not active to enabled and click save. I'm going to click back to process, and we should see the new account application and enabled yes. I am then going to go over to process here. And now we are going to create the new user application. So the new account application is for a brand new partner coming and applying for the first time. If they are already an approved partner, we are going to auto approve any of their new known users into this automatically. It's going to be an auto approval. So I'm going to click into that new user application, copy that name, add workflow over here, new user. Now this is very important. The priority here needs to be before all other approval processes. And the reason why is now you're circumventing the standard process. So you're going to check for this filtering first. And if it's true, we're going to execute this process and not the other process. So if they don't meet this information, then they're going to go to the standard. So the filter here is going to be source. And so just start typing source there, equals value, and you can copy this. It's going to be short form. And now I'm going to click save. Now that it's saved, I am going to click here to define a step. Click into auto approve new user, and I'm going to start building this one out. Okay, before all other steps, we're going to auto approve to existing account. And we're going to, this is the important one, the role type, we're going to automatically approve. It reduces the amount of fields here. And then we're going to choose a level if not specified. In this case, there's only one. However, if there is a tiered version like gold, silver, or platinum, choose the lowest possible level. So if it was gold, silver, and platinum, we would want actually silver, and then gold, and then platinum in that hierarchy. If it's like reseller or distributor, you really don't know which one to choose. Just choose one at that point since we don't have specifics. But what that does is this will automatically assign it a level as they're auto approved through if nothing's specified. Okay, and then the approval status, we need to choose approved. In a normal setup, they may have multiple approval statuses, but in this case, the default is just approved. Save. Now the same thing applies. We could not enable that one before, so we're going to now enable this one by clicking that status enabled, save, click process, and they're both created and they're both enabled yes. So the approval workflows are now completed. So we are going to go on to the standard workflows. Okay, so under workflows, you can do, since we're actually in the approval workflows, there's two ways to get to it. Under workflows, just list workflows, or you go into settings and whatnot. So list workflows. List workflows over here. We are going to create 3. There is a bunch of junk that people are putting in here for testing, but we're only concerned with 3. And so we are going to do them in the order in which I create them. So it's going to go applicant denial, applicant pending, and then applicant approved. So first one, click into applicant denial. And the workflow type is on the applicant object. Next, applicant denial. And this is where you can set status enabled on these ones right off the bat. So I'm going to do that. You're going to execute on final rejection. And then there's a filter also that if it's final rejection and the filter matches is denied equals value and true. You can either copy and paste from that one, or you can choose the selection from the search icon to select. And now we need to click add. Now that it's created, we can add an action. The action we're going to choose is email. You select. And over here, we will start to create it off of this one. Send denial email. Next. Okay, on this one, go straight over to status and click enabled. Then we're going to go down. So we created an email template before, so PRM admin does remember, and also it's pretty confusing because your browser autocomplete kicks in at the same time. But I'm going to click in this one, and it's actually underneath my Chrome autocomplete popping up. I am going to select that, and that it pre-fills it what's already there. So I did admin before, so I'm going to choose that. And then on reply to name, it auto-filled that, but I'm going to hit that and choose Matthew Clark. And Matthew Clark should come up here. So we need to change the time zone on this. We'll scroll all the way to the top again. Choose the proper time zone. And we are going to not track anything. We don't care, and we're not going to messy up our database with a bunch of tracking for emails that we don't really care about. We don't care if they opened an email that told them that they were denied. So we're just going to skip over that. And then on recipients, start typing email, and you want the applicant email filled. So that token is going to drop in here. And then we are going to go to the subject line. So the subject line should only be update your partner program application. And then we're going to go grab all the HTML from here, but we need to do some modifications to it. So I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to open up this code in my editor of choice. And then I need to make some modifications. So the first one is I'm going to update all the URLs. So here we have the anchor tag, and then we have the image path in the source, and then we have the anchor tag here, and the source here for this image. And then we have this link that links to the portal. And so now I am going to go grab the name. And in the title tag, I am going to put SolarWinds here. And then on portal template, I am going to go to SolarWinds Partner Program. And then for the logo, it's usually not going to say SolarWinds Partner Program. It's going to just say SolarWinds. So I am going to replace portal template with just the company name. And now we want to find out what the true copyright information is for this company. And then we'll also need to get the street address. So how I do that is I go to the email, I grab the website URL here, and I go to their corporate website, scroll all the way to the bottom, and so as you can see, it is not just SolarWinds, it is SolarWinds Worldwide LLC. That's why it's important to find out what their actual legal name is, and then come to find out their W is capitalized in SolarWinds. So I'm going to now go update this information because customers get really picky about that and might as well take care of it now. Okay, so this is all completed. For this portion, the designer will come in and update the logo and the design colors and whatnot later, but I'm getting it ready for them so that they can work on that. So I'm going to go in, I am going to paste that, I'm going to hit preview. The images will now show up. I'm going to hit generate from HTML so it creates the text version and click save. So that is the last of the denial email. I'm going to click list workflows and it should be enabled and ready to go. So now I am going to come up here, click list workflows. The next one, as I mentioned, we're going to do applicant pending. So I'm going to click into that one, copy that name. I'm going to click add workflow on the applicant object again. Next. So this email comes when they are created. So this is an applicant came in and so it created an applicant on the applicant object. We're going to enable. And now one thing is this is only going to happen. The pending email is only going to go out to tell them that their application is pending if they're a true applicant. So we need to exclude anybody who gets auto approved. So this goes back to filtering out the source equals the short form. For any auto approved people coming in, they will never be pending. So we need to specify not the source of short form. So I click save, and now I need to add an action. Again, it's going to be email. So we are going to do send pending email, disregard this test one here. We're just going to create this one action. So I'm going to copy this. There's a benefit of doing multiples on an object. So we have done a previous one on the applicant object. So I'm going to save myself some work on this one and choose no copy from, and I'm going to choose that denial email. And it's going to pre-fill a bunch of stuff so I don't have to do that again. So the first thing I'm going to do is click enable. And then I'm going to review. Everything is fine. The fact that they got a pending email, they're not even a partner yet or anything. There's no credentials, nothing in it. I don't care about tracking them, so we're not going to. And then we're going to move on. It's still going to the applicant. So now I need to update the subject line. Your partner program application is pending. Then I'm going to scroll down here. This is a little bit of a shortcut here. I'm going to copy in the code from the bold tag to right before the sincerely tag with the 2 breaks. copy that, just paste over, because all the other work was already done, generate, and I can actually preview this as well. Thank you for the interest in the program. Your application is currently being reviewed, blah, 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 blah. Okay, oh, I missed a step. Okay, I did not grab their street address. My bad. I am going to go back and I am going to go to the design task, and that should have their address. And if it comes through a little bit, we're going to also look at their website to see what shows up there too and see if it matches. Okay. America's okay, it's Austin, Texas. Let's see if we can find building 1000. Okay, interesting. Oh, there it is. Cork, Ireland. Okay, so it wasn't. All right, so we're going to grab this information here. We're going to copy, and we're going to update. Oh, sorry. Going to go into the editor, and we're going to paste this in. Put a comma. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I need to make an adjustment since I messed up on that. And I'm going to copy this information. I'm going to preview it. And there it's listed down below. I'm going to hit generate and save. Over here, I'm going to click undo. And I'm going to have that one. So I'm going to quickly just drop over to that one. Unfortunately, sorry for the confusion. Go to the denial email, copy the code there, paste it. We're sorry to inform you, it now has the address, generate and save. And then go back to list workflows, and now I'm ready for the third one. So I am going to go back to list workflows. The last one is the applicant approved. Even though it has applicant in the name, this is for kind of a friendly name so that it stays in the process, because when you approve an applicant, a user is created. So the workflow type on this one is a user. Click next. We are going to do applicant approved. And on this one, for this version, we are not going to enable it. With CRM Sync, if this is enabled and they bring over a bunch of partners, as soon as they enable CRM Sync, it will start syncing all of the users, and that is a creation and execute on create. All of a sudden, they'll get credentials, and this is just a proof of concept. They are not going live for real, so do not set the actual workflow trigger here to active on this one or enabled. On the other, on Microsoft Dynamics at this time, you can do that. And on our standalone version, you can do that. And I would enable them, but not on Salesforce CRM Sync. Okay, so we're going to click add. We need to click add an action and an email. And disregard this test one that's not enabled here. We're going to send an approval email. Okay, this one you can enable because we'll enable the actual action, but the workflow itself is disabled. That way you do not have to go when it's ready to be activated or enabled, you don't have to go do it twice. Any action underneath that should be enabled, but the top workflow action can be disabled. That way, when you enable that one, they're all enabled below. So because we're on a completely different object, we don't get a nice one to actually continue with. So we have to do this again. So, but I'm going to choose the auto-filled items from before. Choose the time zone, scroll all the way to the top for London. Okay, now on this one, we do care if they receive their welcome email because this will be their credential emails. So we want to track if it's open or if they click any links. That way they can, we can refer back to the this information if they say that they didn't get it or whatnot. So in this one, the same thing, we're going to type email. However, we're in the user object, so you're going to select under user the email. So now it's going to be user.email. And we're going to go down and we're going to copy the subject line, and it should be your partner program application has been approved. And then the same thing here, we are going to grab from the bold dear first name all the way down to before the sincerely with the 2 breaks here, and we're going to go to our email, our editor, and we're going to paste, and it has a URL in it for login now, so we need to copy the URL and we need to paste it on that link. We're going to, cancel, copy all that code. We're going to paste it. We're going to hit preview. Congratulations. So the tokens are already in here. Their username, their temporary password is all, this is what's going to get emailed to them. Going to hit generate and save. Okay, so now remember this one is enabled, but when I click back to list workflow, this is exactly what I want to see. I want to see applicant approved, enabled is no on the actual workflow itself. So you'll see this not active, and then down below the actual action though is enabled, but that will not fire until this is enabled and hit save. Okay, so the 3 workflows are now created. So I am going to mark that one as complete. The next item is going to be to connect the Salesforce sandbox in PRM admin. So I go up here to the sprocket icon and click CRM sync, and I'm going to click list environments. Over here, they should have the credentials. I'm going to take care of something here real quick. Okay, here are the credentials. You click add. The environment is usually going to be sandbox. Environment type is sandbox. Authentication mode is going to be OAuth. And then what we want is to use the email address that was set up. So even if it's something different, we want the CRM email address to be the customer name at crm.mpartner.com. Okay. Then we are going to check all 3 boxes. Dev, stage, and prod are all going to get this for now. And then you're going to need to click to connect. This is going to take you to Salesforce. I'm going to hit paste. I'm going to grab this password here. log into the sandbox. I'm going to click allow. Okay, once it disappears, that means it was successful. Otherwise, you would get an error or the login box or something again. And when you come back to PRM, it will say connection established, and that's when you click add. And now it is connected, and it will the integration is complete with PRM admin. So I'm going to click login now, and it is now going to take me into their sandbox. Preferred method for a lot of people is to switch to Salesforce Classic from Lightning. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to mark off over here that it is connected. And now I need to start installing managed packages. So I am going to, I could have had this pulled up before, but I'm going to go to the customer success portal because I need to get to the links to the managed packages. Go to an in-partner user. Only in-partner users will get access to this at this time. It may change in the future to give access to customers to this, but under onboarding, there are Salesforce packages here. Since we are doing Salesforce CRM Sync, these are the managed packages that we want to install. So I'm going to go back. I need to switch back to SolarWinds. Okay, so now that I'm in their Salesforce, I'm going to grab this. So what you want is from packaging back down to the rest of the URL. So I'm going to copy all the way back to the first /. I'm going to go to their Salesforce here, and I am going to paste after the first /. So some Salesforce are really fast and some are really slow. So install for all users, and you click I acknowledge that I am installing, and click install. So this first one is the main PRM package. Okay, oftentimes you will get this message here. The app is taking a long time to install. You just click done. It will take you to the manage package screen for the installed packages. And you just look down here. Sometimes it has already come up, and you basically look for in partner. So I will do that, and then you just hit refresh. And just keep hitting refresh. And wait for it to be done. and they have a lot of managed packages installed. Still waiting. Still not showing up in here. This one's taking longer than normal. There it is. So now I can go on to the next one. So now I'm going to do MDF. Okay, install for all users. I acknowledge. While we're doing that, I'll come over. So I've installed PRM. Mark that one off. Hope it doesn't take as long as it did before. Oh, there it is. Partner MDF. So now I am going to go grab the PRM extension. This one takes really long. The next two extensions take really long before they come up, before you can install them. Okay, after all that time, you can see it came up and you're going to do, so on these ones, you are going to keep this the same and you're going to do install for all users and you're going to click install. Now the install of these are usually very fast. It's just the loading time that takes forever. That one, because this Salesforce is going longer than normal on the original one, I'm thinking that was usually longer than normal, but probably half that time. And so don't give up. It is eventually going to install. So you have to keep checking and finding because it never shows up, as you can see here, in any type of order. Some will show up here, and there is absolutely no way to sort or anything by name to get them aligned in the same order. So that's why you have to just keep hitting refresh and then searching for in partner. And there it is, the extension. So now we're going to go grab the MDF extension. And again, this one takes a long time. All right, install for all users again. Luckily, that one didn't take as long. Okay, there it is. So now those are installed. So now we need to do business planning. There we go. And partner business plans is installed. So now all the managed packages are installed. So now we continue with the rest of the Salesforce setup. So in the POC process folder, there is a Salesforce CRM Sync Managed Package Installation and Workflows Master PowerPoint. So we're going to continue with these instructions now. It does contain the instructions of installing the managed packages. So we will skip over those since I just did that. And we're going to switch to go on to updating the lead search layouts and whatnot. So first one, we're going to scroll up here to the side, and under setup, we're going to go to customize. Just close this if that pops up. We're going to do leads, search layouts. Okay, and we're going to do leads list view, edit. Okay, we're going to add assign to partner and click add, and then we're going to hit save. And that step is complete. And I always do these even though some of them are really short, but if I get somebody comes to talk to me, I get pulled out of my office or something like that, I know exactly where I left off when I have to resume. If I don't do a bunch of these, then I lose track of where I was at. So I'm going to be updating the field sets here. So we're going to go to field sets here under leads, edit, mass assigned to partner. Okay, and all we're going to do is add one thing. So I'm going to start typing notify, because we're going to add the only item missing here is notify partner, and we're going to drag that down. And you are not done until you click save up here, because if you browse away and don't click that save button, it will not take. Okay, next item is updating lead mapping. So this is just like in PRM when you're mapping, like say the applicant object, and you're going to map it to the account or the user object. Basically, when a lead gets converted to an opportunity, that data needs to carry over. So we're going to go to leads, fields, and this one's kind of interesting. Scroll down, and it's right here in the middle of the page here, map lead fields. And wait for this. Sometimes it takes a minute or two. And then here in a second, we'll have another, but you have to wait for this to fully load. And I'll tell you what I'm waiting for here once these do start displaying. Okay, it looks like everything is loaded. So account is highlighted here. We need to click opportunity. Now this isn't an instant thing, so you're waiting, and what you need to wait for is for the word opportunity to show up here. Okay, if this comes up, sometimes you may have to hit wait. Okay, it just changed. Now it says opportunity, so I'm going to scroll down to is deal registration over here. Okay, there it is. And I'm going to choose, so this is the lead object, and I'm going to map it. These are the opportunity objects. And is deal registration. Then I'm going to go to partner account. And partner account. And then partner contact, partner contact. And then partner lead acceptance. This will now be partner opportunity acceptance. Then you're going to scroll down to the very bottom right and click save. So when I do this, the only way, it's just going to stay here and look stuck for a while. And once you get back to the main lead page is when you know that it actually took. So we're going to wait here for a second. Again, if these come up, just hit wait. Okay, so it reloaded to the lead fields. So it is complete. So we move on. We're going to go to now under leads, page layouts. There usually is a lot of different ones. They can set up all the different layouts they want. So find the one that is most applicable. So right here, we usually do like lead layout here, just the default one. Click edit. Close any pop-ups. And then what we need to do is we need to create a whole new section. And so we can just kind of determine where we want that. So let's do it right here. Okay. This will be PRM deal registration information. We're going to do this twice, once on the lead and once on the opportunity. So I copy this, and then we want top down and click OK. So now we want to put all of these fields in their order and in the right column. So I'm going to search for the word partner. Okay. A lot of times there is two partner accounts. So when you hover over them, one says a lookup, and then the other one says in partner PRM partner account. That's the one that you want. You're going to drag it down there. And now we're going to do partner contact and notify partner, partner lead acceptance, date assigned to partner. Okay, then partner last modified. Since I've searched for partner, I'm going to drag this over here. Then I am going to type DIL. And we want is DIL registration. DIL registration. And for this one, you have to hover over to see which one it is, status. And then the next one is denied. And that's the last one. So again, on this screen, do not leave this page without hitting save. Okay, we are done with that one. So we are done with all of those. Now we're going to update the opportunity layout. So I'm going to scroll down to opportunities. And we're going to go to page layouts as well. And I'm just going to do the standard opportunity layout. Same thing, we're going to scroll down here and add a section here. Okay, I'm going to paste what I copied before, so I don't have to retype it. Top down. Okay, next one is, so let's search for partner. And partner account. Partner contact. Notify partner. Partner last modified. Then search for DIL. Is DIL registration. And hit save. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to activate workflows. So I'm going to come up here to the quick find search, and I am going to search for a workflow rules. Just click continue on this screen here. And now you need to make sure that it's not filtered. Usually somebody's filtered them by default. So what you want is all workflow rules. And we need to filter by the A here. And what we're looking for is assigned to partner on the lead and assigned to partner on the opportunity. There is no making the list longer. So you have to hit next page. You can't add more like 50. So there's all of these assign. Okay, next page. Here are the assigned to partners. So we're going to click activate, and it's going to take you back to the beginning. So just click your back button. And even though that one says that it's not refreshed, click the next one, activate, click back, and now if you hit refresh on this one, they'll both be active. Okay, so now I'm going to click D, and it's deal registration approved opportunity and deal registration denied lead right here. So activate, back, activate, and back, and you can hit refresh to confirm. Now we go to N. We're looking for notify, and these are all NA. Great. So hit next, next. All right, notify, we want all three of these for the case, lead, and opportunity. So activate, activate, activate. Okay, next ones are F for funds. Okay, all of these. These are all of ours. So activate, hit refresh. I missed one. Click activate. Okay, those are all done. So now those are all the activations that are needed. So I'm going to highlight those. Now we need to update the endpoint URLs on all outbound messages. So I'm going to go to the quick find, do outbound, and there it is, outbound messages. Click continue. And all of these except for this top one, oh no, here we go. There's a few here. So we're gonna not need to update these three or this one, but they have a placeholder of partners.partnerco.com. Each one of these needs to be updated. So I'm gonna go back to my notepad, grab the portal URL for SolarWinds, and just click on the URL, and you click edit, and you're going to highlight over just the domain name and click save. Okay, so a shortcut, once it comes back to this screen, a shortcut is to go right up here to this breadcrumb workflow outbound messages and click that. And you're right back here. And so now I go on to the next one, edit. Okay, double check. All of ours are updated. And now I am going to highlight these. Everything's all done. And now the Salesforce setup is complete. And now I am going to turn it over to design, and that person will implement the design, and they will also update the portal navigation.